Hi, I'm Janice Murphy with Northern Title.
And I'm Caitlin Keys. I'm a business developer with Concierge Auctions.
We're here today because we are going to learn more about the real estate auction pros and cons versus selling traditionally. I have some questions because this is kind of a new thing for me, and I know that our audience would love to hear as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited to be here.
Good. First of all, how would a seller know if an auction is right for them?
Absolutely. We get this question a lot. And ultimately, our process is right for a seller who's looking to have a more active approach to real estate versus how it can feel passive at times in the traditional sense. We're able to generate control, liquidity, and predictability for our sellers. So a seller who wants to take control of the market versus waiting passively for an offer is the seller who might be a right fit for us.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think a common belief is that auctions are only for distressed properties. Explain a little bit why that is not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of our sellers are well capitalized. They are savvy business people who are looking to create a dynamic that they have in their business lives in the real estate industry as well. It's important to think of auction of real estate in a luxury sense. So where you've seen auctions around the world take place with Sotheby's or Christie's for hard to value assets such as jewelry or wine versus luxury cars, we are layering residential real estate into that category and asking people to think about real estate in the same way that they think of those other luxury assets.
That makes sense as well. Why, you've kind of answered this already, but why would a client choose to sell via auction instead of selling traditionally?
Yeah, absolutely. So many times when it's a difficult market to come up with a comp for a property, sometimes the list price is too high, sometimes it's too low, sometimes the seller doesn't know where to list their property. So they might come to us directly and we strip out what that price tag is and ask the market to speak towards value. If you're placing 3, 4, 5, 6 more bidders, people, qualified, thoroughly vetted people in a room competing for an asset, you're going to arrive at market value. And that's how you're going to determine your price.
Wonderful. In a real estate auction situation, are the realtors protected?
Yes, absolutely. We have co-brokes available on all of our auctions, and as we've sold over $2 billion in real estate, and we've never transacted without a listing agent.
That's great. That's great. Where do the auctions usually take place?
The auctions, for the most part, take place online now. When we started as a company 12 years ago, they were taking place live at the property. But about 5 years ago, we made more of a shift to an online marketplace, which has actually been able to increase our volume, and we've seen our bidder count increase as well as a result. We certainly still, on occasion, have live auctions, but right now, given the fact that we've established in this current climate that we have a well-established online marketplace for online bidding, we're seeing a lot of activity continue even through the corona pandemic.
Very beneficial to have that in place prior to this, so people are already used to that platform. That's phenomenal. And then how does the typical seller fare in an auction sale versus selling traditionally?
Absolutely. So it's really important for a seller to consider the time value of money. If a seller is looking at our process, they're looking at a 30-day exposure period leading up to the actual event of the auction, where we're putting a heavy marketing, PR, and exposure period. Somebody is actually on the ground selling the property for 30 days and networking with our database of clients, with local agents, and bringing a huge population of interest to the auction, and then generating this field of bidders. After that 30 days, we're giving them a close 30 days later that's contingency free. So it's a really hard-lined approach that's going to deliver results. Another seller who's seeking more of a traditional path might see that they get one offer within first listing or who knows when, but they're still going to be curious if there are other offers out there, and maybe they counter, maybe their contingencies, maybe it falls through. So they can really weigh the way that we're delivering that offer and putting all of the interest to them at one time.
Phenomenal. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you
Absolutely.
for opening the window on the auction, which so many of us are not very familiar with, and it shows a lot of value.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
being
Thank
here
you for
today.
having me.